Hello and welcome to another Nickjitsu guitar video. Today, me and my squeaky chair, I'm going to expand on an idea that I talked about in my pentatonics video, where we start running three pentatonics together in various shapes, like join them together like wee Lego blocks. And it's an idea that I nicked from a certain Mr. James Marshall Hendrix. Thus, to me, these are known as the Hendrix pentatonic scale. So dust off your dominant 7 sharp 9 chords and excuse me while I kiss this guy. So it's not just Hendrix that used these shapes. Dave Gilmour, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, pretty much everybody used them. And they all sound very similar. The only way you can tell Jimi Hendrix is he's left-handed. So what are the Hendrix pentatonics, I hear you ask? I said, what are the Hendrix pentatonics, I hear you ask?
What are the Hendrix pentatonics?
Thank you. The Hendrix pentatonics are basically, you take the core of like the more popular shapes, like shape 1, or shape 4, and what you do is you play, you try and play just a little tunnel of notes that have just, that are 2 frets apart. So for example, what you end up playing is this little tunnel of notes from shape 1. You just play them up the octave, and all of a sudden you find yourself in shape 2. Now if we go the opposite way, we kind of have 4 notes from shape 5. So that the whole thing ends up being... And that's the whole of what I call Hendrix shape number 1. And then we do something similar with Hendrix shape number 4. We take exactly the same notes, the same tunnel of 6 notes, play them up an octave, remember, and go up a fret on the B string, and then up an octave again. And we run out of notes right there. But we end up with Hendrix pentatonic number 2. And they are amazingly popular and amazingly useful shapes. They're basically, it's kind of weird that you've got kind of 4 notes here, and then 6 in the middle, and then 6 up here. And then on this one, you've got 6 on the bottom, and then the 6, and then the 4 on the top. They're kind of opposites, but they're the same going backwards as they are forwards. Just about. They're almost palindromic. They're actually unpalindromic, which I think is a new, I think I've just invented a new species of thing. So these little shapes can lend themselves to all kinds of, you know, soloing shenanigans, you know, groups of 5 type thing, you know, that kind of thing, sort of Eric Johnson-y style stuff. You don't think he just did this by hard work. No, 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 no. He just learned this one scale and he moves it up and down the neck. That's all he does. Anyway. How to get sued by Eric Johnson, a video by Nickjitsu. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so these wee shapes as well, you've got loads and loads of like really famous riffs in there. If we go to E minor and we take the little tunnel of notes in E minor, how many riffs can you think of that use these notes? There's one, you know, there's that one, there's... If you start adding the blue note in there, then you've got that one. Can't remember what that one's called. Never heard that in a guitar shop in my life. There's loads of them, you know. Oh, better not play that. Led Zeppelin will sue me, won't they? So if we're playing in like just a simple A minor blues, A minor, D minor, E minor. Now we're going to play, I'm going to stick to just one position at the moment and just play the A minor pentatonic using the Hendrix shape number 1. And then over the D minor, I'm going to play D minor pentatonic but using Hendrix shape number 2. So not a lot of movement there, you know. Quite handy for learning position playing. And then over the E minor, we're going to do Hendrix position number 2 again. But see, it's 2 frets up from the D minor. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to link it to the chord that you're playing over and start trying to attack the chord tones when you're actually playing over a chord progression. So when you're playing over a blues, you should hear and see that within the shape. So all the A's, all the C's. You can hear I'm changing to the D there. Back to the A minor. There you go, back to the A minor again. Try and be rhythmic and interesting though. We don't want any of your... We don't want to hear that endlessly, unless you're putting some... Yes, you can do that. So that's the Hendrix pentatonics, or that's my version of the Hendrix pentatonics. I saw Hendrix do it. The reason I came up with it was I was watching Hendrix on a video, it must have been the Isle of Wight, or might have been Woodstock actually. And all he was doing was, he just seemed to be using these 2 fingers all the time. And because at the time I was going through all the Yngwie Malmsteen stuff, and using my pinky all the time, I was appalled at his lack of pinky use. But it stuck with me that he was only ever using these 2 fingers. And he just kind of like go up with the 2 fingers and then down with the 2 fingers. And everything was just played. All these little riffs just played with 2 fingers. And I thought he was the same guy as Django Reinhardt, who could only use 2 fingers, but he could only use these 2. So when I was working at Hendrix stuff, I remembered that and came up with these kind of like little ideas. And then I thought I'd invented something and then realised it's a thing. It's a well-known thing, like I alluded to at the beginning of the video. So, you know, if anybody asks, just tell them I invented the Jimi Hendrix pentatonic.
No, you didn't.
And I taught Jimi Hendrix. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, my album Hyperreal is out. It's available on Bandcamp. And potentially it's free. But you can pay what you want. So, you know, add as many zeros as you can after the comma. That would be wonderful. And I'll see you on the next one. Do the thing with the what's it and the subscription thing and all that kind of stuff. Cheers. Thank you very much. So do you like the dots? They're just wee sticky dots. Look. I hope Godfire's not too annoyed because a few people were complaining that I was playing and they couldn't see what frets I was on. But look, I've got lights over the top, you see? I can see what's going on, but you can't. So I elected to put frets on. I actually quite like it. What do you think? Do you think I should keep the dots? You think I should get permanent ones? Or do you think it should just be the lights over the top? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.